They called it the war to end all wars. 100 years ago, the world experienced a devastating conflict, the scale of which humanity had never seen. Empires collapsed and borders were redrawn. But how did the First World War begin? And why did so many countries get involved? Before the war, nationalism was on the rise. Countries competed with each other, and empires were expanding. One of them was Germany, which was rapidly developing its military and economy. It soon became the dominant power in Europe. That worried Britain and France. Defensive alliances were forged. Italy, Germany, and Austro-Hungary formed the Triple Alliance. In response, Britain, France, and Russia came together to create the Triple Entente. If any of these countries were attacked, their allies promised to intervene. On June 28, 1914, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire was killed in Sarajevo. Archduke Franz Ferdinand was travelling in a convertible with his wife when they were shot by 19-year-old Bosnian Serb Gavrilo Princip. He was part of a covert Serbian group known as the Black Hand. Many in Serbia were angered by Austria-Hungary's capture of Bosnia in 1908. Serbia had won independence from the Ottoman Empire and dreamed of creating a nation for Slavic people in the Balkans. Ferdinand's assassination was the spark that lit a bonfire in Europe. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia's government for his murder and declared war. This created a domino effect under the alliance system. Germany backed Austria-Hungary, and Russia mobilized its army to support Serbia. By August, all the major powers in Europe were at war. The war quickly spread to other parts of the world. The Ottomans sided with Germany. Japan declared war on Germany and seized its colonies in the Pacific and China. German colonies in Africa were stormed by French, British, and Belgian forces. Britain exploited the resources it had available across its empire and mobilized almost 3 million men, more than half from India. The First World War saw the use of new military technology. For the first time, planes were fitted with machine guns and bombs. And chemical weapons became common in the trenches. Submarines and tanks were pivotal in the conflict. German U-boats sunk several US merchant ships sailing to Britain. Many Americans were killed, which provoked the US government to declare war on Germany in 1917. A stalemate on the Western Front became a war of attrition. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers were killed. But neither the Germans nor the Allies had an advantage. Then in March 1918, the Germans made a last-ditch attempt to break through the trenches. They succeeded and advanced towards Paris. But French forces launched a counterattack, and the Germans retreated, with their defences eventually crumbling. Back in Germany, a revolution forced Kaiser Wilhelm to abdicate. At 11 a.m. on November 11, 1918, the Allies and Germany signed an armistice, ending the war. 9 million soldiers and 8 million civilians were killed in the conflict. Those dead are now being remembered 100 years on, an unfathomable price to pay for peace. And yet, the war to end all wars hasn't come close to that lofty notion, with a century marred by seemingly endless conflicts and human suffering. Hyder Abbasi, The Newsmakers.